What's up, everybody, and welcome to another coffee chat.
I was thinking about last month's coffee chat, and I felt like I looked so tired looking back on that video. Boston.
That's our dog.
We finally got the kids out,
like,
and
"Let me
now
out."
it's Boston once again.
It's always something. And we're back. So, coffee chat.
Yes.
We're going to be doing them once a month now because there's been a lot of requests for them, and we love doing them. We've mentioned before, it's kind of like almost like a date for some reason. Like, it's just kind of fun to just like sit down and like talk about
Because we try
stuff.
to do like our date nights on Mondays, and like once a week. That's kind of like our day that works for our schedule. So some days or some weeks it's this.
Yeah.
Some weeks we go out to the Fork. That was really fun.
That was really nice.
We went out to it's like one of our favorite restaurants. It was really fun.
It was so good.
Such a good dinner.
They have like this like grilled cheese like fondue. That is like so good.
I think we put it on our Instagram.
We did.
But like, yeah, it's literally like cut up grilled cheese, but it's like
It
gourmet.
was really good sourdough bread.
And then you get to put it in the tomato.
Tomato soup.
Like,
it's so good.
It's good.
Yeah. So we put out, we were going to put out the questions on Instagram yesterday, but we put them out today.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of responses already. I know some of you will probably be putting more in today, but we're going to start filming. So save those for next week or next month, whatever. But thank you guys so much. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you should do that because that's where we ask for questions once a month. So if you have questions for us, anything with YouTube or life or kids or whatever, ask away.
Yep.
So before we get going though, what are we drinking today?
So we got our coffee not at home today because I'll tell you guys in a minute why I was out. So I was like, I'll grab some Starbucks for our coffee chat. But Heather, she does my hair, she told me she gets an iced Americano with pumpkin. I think she said 2 pumps of pumpkin in it. So I was like, I'll try that. But we kind of like tweaked it a little bit. So they did not do mine right at all. Justin got a quad.
I got a quad Americano.
Yeah.
With 3 pumps of pumpkin sauce and the pumpkin cream
foam on top. It's really good. I tried it in the car because it's like with the 4 shots, it's so like bitter, but with the sweet, like it makes it really good.
You think that's bitter?
Oh yeah, 4 shots. Well, for me with Starbucks, yeah. So it kind of counteracts that.
It's
so
really
I could
good.
totally drink that. And there's no like cream in that at all, but the color looks like it because of the pumpkin sauce.
Yeah. So again, 4 shots Americano, iced, 3 pumps of pumpkin sauce, and the pumpkin cream cold brew. What?
It's a lot. Sorry.
It's a lot.
Boston, make up your mind.
In or out. That's what we tell the kids. In or out. Like, make a decision. Make a decision.
But mine, I could tell right
Commit.
away. As soon as they handed it to me, I was like, I'm not going to like it because the color. So I forgot my rookie mistake. I didn't say a splash of half and half. Make sure you say a splash.
Yeah, you gotta say a splash.
Or they do way too much.
Yeah.
And then they put caramel in it. So I was like, cool. I said pumpkin. But they did put the foam on top. It's just way too sweet. But I only got a tiny baby, so I can drink it.
Because of the coffee shop, I feel like we have to spend some time talking about this. We'll get over this in just a bit. But I think the pumpkin cream cold brew is really good. I love it, as you guys know. I just wish it was stronger. You know what I mean? Like for me, because I like strong coffee. So this is like actually really good.
Do you like that? After I tried it in the car, I go, I bet he's going to start getting this from now on because you've always gotten quad Americanos.
I might even just do it.
You should do it without the pumpkin sauce.
Without the pumpkin sauce.
And just get the foam.
But it is actually really good, the pumpkin sauce. But I think, knowing me, I could just do it without the pumpkin sauce, obviously.
Yeah, and just do the foam on top.
Yeah, so
And
anyway.
then it kind of gives it a good taste through the espresso because it kind of like falls down at my hand. Anyways.
It's like jazz hands.
So, before we get to the questions.
Yeah.
The reason I was out, good news, I told the lady at Starbucks, I'm like, celebratory coffees. She was like, yay. So Junie and I were at the doctor because I don't know if we shared this in our birth vlog or not.
I don't think we did. I think we didn't.
Okay.
I think we kept it kind of on the DL.
We did because we didn't know for sure and we didn't want to like share it if it was bad. And now it's like I'm setting it up really scary. Anyways, she failed. One of her ears failed for her hearing tests. So one of them passed, it was good, and then the other one failed. They came back in the hospital and did it. This was right after she was born, and did it again, and it failed again, same ear. So they said we had to go and do more of like an extensive hearing test.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you guys have had this with your kids. If you had, it was not a fun experience. So it took a long time. She's like, this might take like an hour and a half. I was like, oh, okay. So they put contraptions everywhere. It's just wires, like here, under the ears, in the ears, and then they want you to bring the baby like tired and hungry. So of course they're like putting all this stuff on her, and she's just like not happy. So they're like, "We'll get it on her, and then you can nurse her." And so I'm trying to nurse her with all these cords, and then I'm like, "Okay, I gotta burp her," and like the cords are coming off. She's like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, "I'm sorry." Like it was just
By the way,
awkward.
Fun fact with Junie, it takes her forever to burp.
I know, and that was the thing. I was like,
like our boys, like immediately, they're feeding and they're burping while they're feeding. Like,
yeah, I've
Junie,
never.
She's just like, I don't want to burp in front of anybody. Yeah. Like this, she's like, that's who she is.
Yeah, she's a stinker. She will like burp right away, or it'll take her like 40 minutes. So I was like, oh no.
So like literally in the middle of the night, I hear this for like 45 minutes. I'm like, Junie, burp. Like I'm sick and tired of hearing this because.
Oh, you're so tired of hearing it. You poor thing.
Because I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer, right? So what happens when I hear steady beats like that? I start making beats in my head that go along with it. So I'm.
That totally makes sense. So I'm
literally trying to sleep. I'm just
I never thought of that.
like making these beats with it. I'm like, I can't sleep. My brain is active because of that. So I know. I'm sorry. Anyway, so
that does make sense though with you, because when you hear beats, like your mind just like
and I just can't turn it off. Anyway, but good news because she passed.
She passed.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Afterwards, because we're like quiet in the room, because you have to be like quiet, have her asleep, and so anyways, after all the burping, it took a while, and I was nervous because she was like, "Okay, I'll have to come back till she calms down." I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna have to do this again." But anyway, she finally calmed down, and
it's been kind of one of those things where it's like. We had a feeling that it was, she was kind of fussy in the hospital, so we had a feeling that it was just that. And that's why we didn't want to say anything to kind of like, bring concern or whatever, because we just didn't know the facts, Yeah. But it has been kind of like a heavy cloud, I think.
Yeah.
Because like with anything, we're just like, oh man, hopefully, and like.
And I
don't know.
Tell you guys the reason why though is because, and nothing against the nurse that did the test, but she couldn't share any details. So we're like, what does that mean? She didn't pass. And she's like, it's a pass or fail. We're like, is she deaf in that ear?
Well,
and she didn't even answer that. She was like, she just failed it.
And the nurse that came back in was just like, kind of like, please don't worry about it. Basically, she was sorry that we had that, the lady said it the way she said it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if she was like. It made us
really uneasy.
And I feel like she was kind of like training almost too. So I think she just didn't know everything of what to say because she just didn't know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that made it worse because then every single time we're like, if there was a loud noise and like Junie didn't like wake up or something, we're like,
Did you hear?
Yeah, it was just kind of like that. But I think we kind of knew she was okay, but there's always that like pit in your stomach where you're like, oh, maybe she's not.
Yeah.
So this was like,
it felt good.
It felt good. Like it was like a breath of fresh air, and you're just like can breathe a little bit. Like it was a sigh of relief, basically.
It was. So I know. So we're excited. So hence the celebratory Starbucks.
And
also it took us a long time to get her in, because doctors right now, they're so backed up with appointments. So I was just like, we had to wait this long.
How old is she?
Almost 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been like in that waiting game in the unknown for 7 weeks. It's just been hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pull up some questions.
Okay.
Lacey, Lacey, the one that's sitting right here next to me.
You know a lot of Lacey's.
She literally commented on our coffee chat question.
When I was in an appointment, I had a long time.
What's for dinner? So I guess we'll start with that one. So I actually ordered pizza. So.
Well, I had a dinner plan in the crock pot, and I was all excited about it. Like I had all the ingredients ready, but it's gonna take like 3 or 4 hours. 4 hours.
Name that quote.
And
4 hours.
If you guys know, it's from
in the comments below.
We quote every vlog.
Yeah. Well, now you just really gave it away. I'm hoping that, because that's a hard one.
I think it's not as hard as This Completes the Ensemble.
Okay, now you really gave it away because everyone knows that is now. Because you say it all the time. Anyway.
What was I saying?
She had a crock pot.
Oh, yeah. And then when I found out how long the appointment was going to take, and it took even longer because she was fussy, I was like, well, my dinner is not going to work tonight. And I was really bummed about it. So
I take matters in my own hands, and she asks, "What to do for dinner?" I'm like,
"So what's for dinner?"
Pizza. Well, it's actually really cool because,
no questions asked. Pizza.
Yeah, well, because there was this deal I saw. I think it was last night watching the football game, which I don't even want to talk about the football game. Last night, we won't even go there. If you're a Broncos fan, yes, you got a W, but you should still feel bad about your team. It shouldn't. You should still be like, saddened by that game. Yes, you got the W, but your offense didn't look good.
It was a late game because we had to delay it before we could start it because he was
anyway, I don't want to talk
somewhere.
about it.
But I was like, okay, I'm going to bed, and he's like, I gotta calm down. I didn't even hear you come to bed last night.
I couldn't sleep. Like,
it was
my
late.
adrenaline was up because my adrenaline's always crazy with a game.
Yeah.
And I had my buddy over too last night, and it just.
Who's a Broncos fan? Congratulations, Mario.
Congratulations. But you should still be sad about your O-line, your offense.
Anyway,
Pizza. So I saw a commercial and it had Papa John's had like a football-shaped pizza.
Oh, did you get that?
Yeah.
Oh, Landon's good guy.
So I was like, I'm just gonna get that. That'll be kind of fun for tonight. And I also got like there's a Philly cheesesteak pizza.
Oh.
And I love Philly cheesesteak, so I'm like, why not?
So you got that and a cheese?
I did.
Oh, cool. That sounds good.
And I got garlic knots as well. Okay, so the next question that we'll talk about, and it's not from Lacey or myself, is what are you guys doing in your backyard? So we had an Insta story on Saturday of a skidster going in our backyard. And what?
I don't know what a skidster is. So what does it do?
It just moves dirt.
Okay.
So, we just said we're going to share more with you guys later on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll talk too much because we're going to have a video come out actually in October of what is happening in our backyard. But I think we kind of hinted a lot of it.
So we're not going to answer their question? That's literally her question was, I don't know who it was, what's happening in your backyard?
Well, okay. I guess we'll share like a bird's eye overview of it because we're gonna have a video of it that'll go in more detail over it.
Okay.
We are making a studio in the backyard. Mm-hmm. So something we've been, as you can tell, like we're I don't know if you can tell, but if you've been following us, you know that we are in our nursery.
Yeah.
We're in Junie's nursery.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to get to the point here pretty soon, probably in another month or so. Mm-hmm. I don't know when, but pretty soon.
Yeah.
That she's going to need her room.
Yeah.
Like she's going to be sleeping here more and all that kind of stuff. So our time is limited in here, and honestly, honestly, it's hard to like be in here.
Yeah.
Like the amount we use our studio, or I don't even know, it's just a desk at this point for way more than just YouTube. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's hard when I'm like looking around and I'm like trying. I draw for inspiration, like for example, like Pixar. Like, or for example, like animators, if their desk is like covered with like things that inspire them, I can't get inspired when I see like an elephant, like a pink elephant that's on the side over there,
A cute picture.
And it's hard, and there's like diaper rash cream, you know what I mean, like butt cream over there in the dresser, you know what I mean. It's hard for me to like be inspired by that. So
and it was in our room for a while, and it was just too much.
That was way too hard.
So
it was hard because there's times when like especially right now, Lacey's routine is a little bit jacked because the baby. Mm-hmm. So she'll, go to bed earlier, and I still need to finish out editing a video for somebody or something like that.
Right.
And it's like just that light is so bright in there, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be our future studio.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to that we'll share that we don't want to do now because it would take up the whole video. Yeah. But
we're gonna have a whole video. We'll actually have several videos because we'll actually walk you through the whole installation of it and what we're thinking. But we're gonna have a video coming out in just probably a week or so of just what this is gonna be. Yeah. So cool. We're excited. We're really, excited is like an understatement. Like I've been dreaming about this for a very long time. Right. We're just excited to have a spot to do more YouTube stuff.
Yes.
So
that's
more
what it's for.
To come. Okay, next question is, what nicknames have you given Juniper? Have the boys come up with any? Okay, yes. We call her Junie quite a bit. Junie, I think Junie is the one that is gonna be the one that
forever.
sticks forever.
Yeah.
We call her like Junebug as well. Mm-hmm. Landon calls her
June
Lagoon, which I think is cute. I think that could be honestly like that could be like an artist, like a singer.
Yeah.
And June Lagoon,
Band name. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any more.
I think that's about
Junie,
it. I think
June Lagoon, Junebug. You call her
Jupe.
Jupe.
I don't know why. Just I do call her that quite a bit.
Yeah, you do.
I don't even know what Jupe means. Hopefully it's not a bad thing.
Like a football player name.
I don't know.
So I was like, is that a football
After
player?
you said that, I'm just like, hopefully it's not like slang for something. I have no idea. Literally, I started calling her Jupe. So if it is slang for something,
Isn't there a 49ers player that's Jupe?
No.
It sounds like that? No? Okay.
I don't think.
That's what I thought it was from.
No, I've just been calling her Jupe. I don't know why.
Okay.
But it's Junie. I mean, I call her Junie. It was actually hilarious, and this is like really bad to say, but it was when we first had Juniper, and someone asked me what her name was, and I was so used to calling her Junie.
Yeah.
And I was like, her name's Junie, and they're like, oh, her name's Junie. I'm like, wait, no, that's not right. What's her name? I'm like, oh, Juniper. Like, it was just like I was in lack of sleep, whatever. Yeah. But it was hilarious because, like, you know when you like
don't know your kid's name.
Cool. I'm like, well, the kid's like a week old, so give me a break. But anyway, yeah, Junie, Junebug, June Lagoon, Jupe are her nicknames.
There they are.
So the next question is, how's life handling with 3 littles? Any tips for first-time parents that you wish you knew sooner? Honestly, like, I think just you asking that question would be a tip that I would give.
Yes.
And I think the thing is like, just ask questions. Mm-hmm. Like, I think so many people, like, feel like they have to live on an island, or they're too arrogant.
Yeah, so, like, be willing to learn.
Yeah, I think people feel like it's a sign of weakness if they ask questions.
Right.
In this culture. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people get like that. It's almost like they feel like they can't say that they need help, or, you know, how would you do this in this scenario? Mm-hmm. So the fact that you're like, hey, like, any tips that you, like, that right there is huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly.
And I think that's how we learned, because when we had Landon, I mean, as much as I feel like moms are like, well, I know my baby more than anyone. Exactly, you're right. You know, I know my baby, but I don't know how to take care of a baby. It's my first time. So, like, I was like, how do I do this? And Justin was the same way. We asked a lot of questions. We talked to a lot of parents that we love their parenting style, and asked them, like, what they did. So we just went into it knowing, like, we don't know how to do this, and we want to do it well. Yeah. So we asked a lot of questions.
I mean, we're curious. I think people, again, they have, like, there's this one-track mind of, like, how you have to raise a kid kind of a thing. And it's like, well, the thing is you don't cookie cut or something, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's another issue is people cookie cutter how they raise one child versus the other. Yeah. And it's like, they're so different. Right. And you have to customize the raising of the kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sure. And it's not just this one way or the highway. I think people get so in that trap. Mm-hmm. They're not curious of how other people do it. So we looked at other people, we observed of how they did it. Right. We love people who still had a relationship, and it wasn't through their kids. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things where it's like, you know, when the kids are out of the house, they have no relationship anymore.
Well, and people tell you, kids change everything. Everything's going to change. And when we had Landon, we were like, whoa, we get that now. Like, things changed a lot, like, where it was just you're caring for yourself. But at the same time, like, we were like, we don't want to be run by our kid, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, things in our life change because of kids, for sure. But it's like, we're not going to let them run the home or our schedules.
And I think, and because of that, like, we've realize that we still have that relationship. It's not the kids don't run the house. Mm-hmm. It's us first, then the kids, right? And we've also saw people that they, you know, the life, like Lacey was saying, life didn't really it slowed down because it has to, but it didn't like stop. Like they still pursue their dreams and their passions, and for us, like traveling and stuff, and that still occurs. And that's why we take our kids with us. Yeah. A lot of the times when we travel, we do still. Once a year, we try to get away with just us because we feel like that's important. Yeah. And then just with our lives, it's nice for us to kind of disconnect and reset, even if it's for just a few days. Right. But for the most part, we take our kids everywhere we go, and we just
they adapt really well to it, and they're just used to it. And so, like, I mean, with nap schedules and stuff like that, they've just like they're great with that because they've just kind of gone along with what we did, and then they just worked with it. And so it was just like, well, we got to go here, so you're gonna take your nap in the car, you know.
I mean, they're good travelers. They're good.
They really are.
If they have to just sit in the car for a little bit longer because, you know, we're held up, you know, with like on the phone in the car, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just like they understand that there's life. Right. I don't know. They're not like so surprised and like taken back and like. I mean, they're kids. Yeah. You know, they have their attention span is very small, but in a way, they're independent as well, so where they can just get things going on them by themselves.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I like to see, because like without, if they're in the car together or Landon and Tucker are somewhere and there's no, like, devices or anything, like, how they can be creative with, like, coming up with a game together, you know what I mean, where they have to wait during a certain time when we're doing something. Like, I think that's really important, where we don't have to feel like we need to entertain you guys 24/7, it's like, that's not our job as parents. And so they learn to be creative, and they learn to play independently.
They use their imagination, and the games they come up with is awesome. But anyway, I guess coming back to that is, like, I think that's the thing, is just, like, ask questions, find those people that you love the way they raised. And what we did is we found people from all stages of life.
Right.
We saw people that we loved that had teenagers, and we're like, and they had a great relationship with their parents. And so it's like, okay, what did you guys do?
Because we want that, yeah.
And so it's like, it's not just like the baby stage. It's not just the toddler stage. It's like, we want all the stages. And so let's start with a foundation early on to be able to have these great relationships with our kids through the decades, through the years. And I think that's the thing, is we kind of, like, through all the different seasons, we ask questions to those people that we're like, man, we love that. Like, what did you guys do? Like, pick their brains and stuff.
Right.
And then we kind of, customized it from there.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, we've been through the baby stage and toddler stage with Landon, and now doing with Tucker. But it's like Landon's turning 7 now and going through grade school. So it's like a whole new season of learning things and, homework and different things and sports. And so, yeah, you're continually learning. And I feel like, with your question, I would just, be curious to learn, and don't think you know it all. Because once I think I'm like, I got this, like, a curveball comes in, I'm like, got this.
And with that, it drives me nuts when people they have it all figured out. Like, when they have a baby, or when they have, like, and they think they know everything. I'm like, bro, every day is different. Every day is a new territory that you haven't been in.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just, like, commenting. I'm like, I've only, every day.
Yeah,
every
and even,
season.
like...
So how do you think you have it all figured out?
Right. And then even with, like, Junie, like, okay, I've already had 2 babies. I should know what I'm doing. She's a totally different baby. Like, different than the boys were. So it's like, you have to take that into consideration, because all kids are different, so...
Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question, I guess. But I guess the biggest thing is, like, ask questions, be curious. Don't feel like you have it all figured out. Don't live on an island. Like... and just, like...
And that you're a bad parent because you don't know how to do something. It's like, that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
That is how you learn. Yes. What was the name of the app Lacey used to monitor her contractions? So, if you guys didn't watch our birth video, there was an app that Lacey was using to monitor it.
I'm looking for my phone.
There it is.
What I would do,
that thing
I would
goes
not
off
live without my Apple Watch,
every
you
day.
guys, seriously.
Every day that thing goes off.
When Justin got it for me, he's like, you can use this to find your phone. Okay, so I deleted it.
I mean, that makes sense. If you had contractions, so I think there'd be a problem. There's another baby in there. Surprise.
Okay, found it. So it's called Contraction Timer and Counter. So it's got a little green thing with, like, a baby. It looks like that. So that helps. But it was really cool. And, I mean, you can pay for more stuff to it, but I just did the free version because I just wanted to track them. So, but, yeah, it was nice and helpful when it was, like...
When it was game time.
You might need to start packing your bags. I didn't tell you about that one. It kind of, like, warned you. And it was like, okay, you need to go to the hospital now. After, like, it...
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, started doing so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of, prepared you.
That was in the video.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it basically said... We filmed that. You don't remember that. But we did watch it.
No, I know it told us, like, you need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But before that even told me, like, you need to probably start packing.
Oh, is that why you told me to go pack my bag?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Lacey's like, go get the Roku. Like, it may be time to go. And I was like, all right.
So.
And
I liked it.
There we are. Next question is favorite fall comfort food. I think... I mean, I guess it could be... It's fall-y.
Yeah.
It's wintry. And that is our chicken tetrazzini.
And we even have a vlog about it.
We even have a vlog about it. We'll link that below. But, like, that is one of our favorite foods. Honestly, we think it's one of the best foods to, like, to give. You know, if someone's, like, just needs, like, a meal. If they need a meal, if they have a baby or just a hearty or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a good meal to
so
make,
good.
To give. It's easy to, like, double batch it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever Lacey makes chicken tetrazzini, everyone in the house is like, all right, let's do this thing. Like, we love it.
It's funny because you always kind of see all the ingredients out. We're like, oh, it's chicken tetrazzini. It's not the healthiest thing.
No, not at all.
But it's got a lot of sour cream.
Comfort food, it usually isn't healthy.
I know, right? But we'll link that video below because it is really easy to do. So it's delicious.
Delicious. Okay, we're just going to do a couple more because I think we've been on here for a while. But another one was, are you both sweet or savory? Are you both sweet or savory?
I like both.
I like both too. I think I'm more actually though. I'm more savory.
I'd probably say that during my pregnancy I was all about the sweet. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably say more savory, except for this last pregnancy.
I love salt.
Yeah.
I love salt. You know what I mean? Like, I think the thing is, if you can only pick one or the other, it would be really hard because I love chocolate as well.
Yeah.
But I think I would go with the salt. Yeah, the savory more than the. Because I don't like candy. I don't like warheads and things like that. Like candy. I like chocolate.
Yeah.
That's the one in ice. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I like more savory than I do sweets. Okay, this is like a YouTube question. Tips for making the switch from iMovie to Final Cut. I'm lost and overwhelmed. So if you guys don't know, that's just some editing software. Tips. There's a lot of tips. I would say the best thing would be right when you're overwhelmed and you don't know what something is, go on YouTube and type it in. Like, just be like, how do I cut? How do I this? Whatever. And just watch tutorials, and before you know it, you're going to grasp a lot of it. I mean, Lacey, you never used iMovie. Lacey just went right to Final Cut Pro.
And I learned majority from you, but there were some things where you weren't available, and I didn't want to bother you or something, and I went on YouTube and I learned that way. And I was just like, how do I do this?
They'll have everything on YouTube, and you might find a channel that you just like, and they have a lot of basics and stuff like that. And I think that would be just the best thing is like, I know it's a pain, but just stop what you're doing, look it up, and then you'll grasp it. You just will. And then just continue making videos, and you'll start learning that. But it is a big jump. From iMovie to Final Cut is a big jump. But I also will say that you already have a good foundation with iMovie, so that I think the jump is not as big as you'll think, as you think.
And I guess, like, I feel like I wasn't going to say anything to this because I was like, I don't know, but I could speak to this because I did go just right to Final Cut, is learning, like, the basics, because I got so overwhelmed. I was like, what does this do? What does this do? Like, 'cause there's so much on the screen. I was like, nope. But I just learned the basics, like, first, like, the cutting, the tools, how to do that, and then slowly I was like, oh. And then I would, like, slowly add in all the other stuff, and then it wasn't so overwhelming to me. Yeah,
just do, like, whatever you do on iMovie, take what you do on iMovie, and just learn what you do on iMovie to Final Cut. Like Lacey was saying, the basics. And then from there, you'll just add more things to your arsenal.
Yeah.
I think it's good. So yeah, YouTube tutorials, they have everything on there. You'll get it. It's going to be great. The last question we'll end on is, do you guys have any trips planned? We do have a trip. We're not going to go in detail over here. But we will talk about, I am going with Landon to Sacramento, to watch a 49ers game in November. But other than that, stay tuned for, more information on future trips.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you for hanging out with us. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
And thank you again for just asking questions and stuff. And I have no idea how long this is. Like, it says 38 minutes. We also got interrupted by dogs and kids and all that stuff. But
and I'm so glad I got a small one. This was so sweet. I should have just made a shot and put it in there, an extra one. That would have been good. But
should have went 4 shots Americano.
No, thank you.
I'm just saying it's good.
Yeah, but Junie would be affected by that, and nobody wants that tonight.
No, nobody. I don't want this.
Oh, let's end it. I know, right? By talking about this Friday, what we're doing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
FNLs are back.
Look at me remembering things.
Yeah. So, number one, if you stayed until the very end to hear this, thank you. But FNLs, which are Friday Night Lives, which means we go live on YouTube, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and then do the math where your time zone's at. We're going to make Disney's pumpkin beignets.
Yes. And this came out of when, COVID happened, we were like trying to do stuff to like get people together, and it just kind of has continued. But it's been a while since we've done this,
and we're gonna really try to. We're gonna really try to do them once a month.
Yeah,
is kind of our thing now with that. So it's just fun to be able to interact with you live. You know what I mean?
It is really fun, and we're excited because we've had the pumpkin beignets. We did a trip just us together, and it was during the fall, and they were so good. So we have made beignets before. And it took us a while to finally master it, so hopefully we remember our techniques.
I don't know if we will.
Well, the biggest thing is we didn't have a thermometer, and we have that.
This is the thing. We are not
so
we are not chefs by any means. And so that's why I think half of it is just...
People like to watch us and be like,
I guess.
What are these guys
honestly,
doing?
Like, we get so anxious doing these because...
But it's fun because a lot of you guys know actually how to do things and help us.
You come and you give us some tips while we're cooking, and we talk about stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So join us. In the community post on YouTube, we have the times. We'll also put on Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. The times and everything like that as well. But we'll also put that down in the description box too, so you know. Yeah. But it's gonna be this Friday, and which is September 30th, right? If you're watching this later on and it's past September 30th, you can still watch it. And we also have like a playlist of all our FNLs if you really want to watch them all. But it's fun to come live, so hang out with us. We're excited. Yeah. And hopefully we'll see you there. Yep. But yeah. Thanks, we love you guys. Yeah. And we'll see you on Friday.
Yes. Bye.